Another year at Godolphin. Due to the war, some changes have been made.
There will be no home or away matches for any game because of difficulties and expensive travelling. And no half-term excursions beyond walking distance for the same reason.
No riding because all the horses have been commandeered.
No swimming because the town baths have been converted for war purposes.
We are to set aside time between 5:20 and 7:30 on weekdays, in which we will learn useful things such as carpentry, cutting out, bandaging, knitting and laundry.
On Wednesdays we will pray, by name, to our relations and friends at the front. Some of these names are already on the nation's roll of honour.
There'll be no dances because Saturday nights are dedicated to mission work. Instead of dancing, we'll make hospital splints, writing cases, sewing sandbags, fodder bags and treasure bags.
These treasure bags were the idea of Lady Smith Dorian, who heard that the sick and wounded needed bags in which to store their valuables when they were admitted to hospital. Godolphin responded to this call, with school diaries reporting some 4,500 bags being made by the girls during the war years.
The men find these little bags for their possessions a great comfort, and if they are invalided at home, many of them bring them back for use in the hospital, and if they fall in battle, they serve to collect their little possessions.
Miss Douglas said, in addition to our 200 treasure bags, we also made 410 writing cases, 72 splints, 14 of which were for fingers, 4 pairs of crutches, some clothes for Belgian refugees, some woolen socks and other woolen things also went from the school that term. Oh, and 500 sandbags.
Thank you, Mildred.
We've got another letter from a soldier.
What's it say?
With eager
to be later filled with sand to shield the gallant Tommy's head.
Hark! From the trenches rings the cry, "Oh, help us in our deadly strife. Provide us bags, or else we die." Provide us bags. For lack of these was many alive, but now from war
Officialdom!
But now from war, officialdom issues the order, cease your task. It fell upon us like a bomb.
And what to do, you humbly ask? There's still their cloaks to same refrain.
We can but feel its plaintive touch. Send all you can, and then again, send more. We cannot have too much. fundraising efforts, concerts given by the girls and staff, sales of artefacts made by students, and teas in the grounds of the school.
crutches with the British Red Cross Society and Queen Mary's Needlework Guild, and achieved a highly successful result.
A large number attended the attractive summer sale open in the grounds of the school by Lady Radner in perfect summer weather. The response from Salisbury and the neighbourhood was generous, and the items for sale, ration tea and delightful entertainment had obviously entailed many days' work undertaken by the whole school.
The amount made at the sale was over £784, which was kindly made up to £800. Douglas has said that some of the farmers accepted her offer to let us help in the hayfields.
very glad for our help to help put in the hay.
I've even asked to learn how to milk a cow. I hear we receive a badge upon passing the milking test.
100 of us are working on some land belonging to Mr. Perkins to plant potatoes and prepare the ground.
The work is going so well, we're expecting for it to be finished in 3 days instead of 4.
The staff of the school also did their bit. Miss Oliver had gone to do government work. Her fine German was much needed and she felt it her duty. The Godolphin laundress at Rose Villa took in washing from the Red Cross Hospital, and Miss Ashford, the cook, was commandeered to cook or to nurse at the hospital as required. The school gardener joined the Navy.
I'm glad to say that we may expect about 50 soldiers from the infirmary and Red Cross Hospital to tea tomorrow. And the whole school is invited to the entertainment afterwards. At about 3:45, our guests will begin to arrive, and we will be at tea by 4 o'clock. Most of them will be from the Dardanelles. The entertainment will begin at about 4:45, although it may only be a small contribution. It brings cheer and relaxation to our brave soldiers. Finally, girls, I have received many letters from our old girls in various hospitals and job roles around the world. Their deeds are most honourable. Let us take a minute to pray for their continuing service.
Just the same when singing of our soldiers.
Works or Aeroplane Works, at the Admiralty and War Office, and Ministry of Munitions and Census Office, or on the land, or in working canteens. They are also in South Africa, India, Russia, Malta, and many in France.
I have been working at the Vicar's Works in Earth since 1915. I live in a hostel overlooking the Thames with about 30 women. On the factory floor, we all tie our hairbacks and handkerchiefs and wear dark blue overalls. Although there are many slight discomforts, I'm enjoying life as a factory hand.
I am working on the land from 6:30 a.m. till 7:30 p.m. every day. The work is really rather interesting, seeing as I am the only woman and the only person of a non-labouring class.
I have joined Alice Workmen in running a soldier society in Rouen. The English Tommies love it. They say it's just like being at home.
We always say we are making munitions, but at Park Royal, that's wholly incorrect. We inspect cartridges, and all that are bad, we chuck away. All that are good, we go ready for the front. About 3,000 women work at Park Royal, and they are all very nice. And we sing while we work. One of our favourite ones is Little Grey Home in the West.
Even here, thousands of miles from home, on a tiny island in the Mediterranean, Godolphin is spoken of with great affection, which gladdens the heart knowing that even with the war on, you're all still with me.
Malta was also the posting of Godolphin Governor Lord Methuen, who was made Governor of Malta during the war.
I was greatly cheered to receive a telegram from all the girls and staff at Godolphin saying I was missed. I have my hands very full with the constant arrival of hundreds of gallant men who have been wounded. Knowing that you remember me and send your best wishes gives me much happiness.
As the war progressed, many of the girls found themselves in roles they might never have dreamed of filling.
Edith Faithful. I'm working at the Bank of England.
Miriam Tatham. I'm working at the War Office in Whitehall.
Marjorie Napier. I'm working in the Intelligence Division of the Admiralty.
Dorothy Sayers. I'm teaching French at the Girls' High School, Hull.
Marjorie Hardy. I have passed my War Office motor ambulance test and I'm going to France to join Ella Burden.
Beatrice Gregg. I have been rewarded a medal, the Order of St. Solva, for the splendid work I did for the Siberian Red Cross.
Gladys Thorndike. I'm organising the training of the Girl Guides throughout the Empire. I'm still on air raid duty, which in the neighbourhood of Woolwich is no easy number.
One old girl was particularly intrepid. Isabel Newton recognised the need to help soldiers, often critically wounded ones, as they waited at field hospitals for the Red Cross trains to fill with enough of the injured to enable an evacuation to the larger hospitals on the coast.
Do you think from out back?
Potatoes.
We need some more veg over here.
Yeah.
Cabbage? Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Cool.
The Red Cross are unable to undertake it. My cousin, Alice Workman, and her sister are determined to undertake this most necessary work. Another cousin gave them a motor kitchen so that they could travel quickly from place to place.
Next. Next.
Cheers.
Next.
Thank you, love.
Next.
Amongst friends, we have been able to gather several £100 and have been able to provide the men with hot soup, cocoa, milk and bread and butter at the various stopping places. It costs about £6 to feed a trainload of 500 men, and the kitchen is now in full working order, travelling between Rouen and a few miles of the front.
So many of the old girls had family fighting in various corners of the world, with several writing of their losses or of lucky escapes. escape for missionary Ruth Wordsworth, who was returning from Japan by ship with her brother Osmond. They sailed on the Lusitania, which was torpedoed by a German U-boat 11 miles off the coast of Ireland, killing 1,198 and leaving only 761 survivors.
We managed to book a second-class cabin with its team. I do not remember much about the scene, and I'm not aware exactly how I had survived, as I was knocked out by the explosion. I regained consciousness in the water. I managed to cling onto Nova's collapsible until I was rescued by the Julia. I did not know whether Osmond had survived until we were reunited in Queenston Island. Osmond? Ruth! Osmond! He told me that he had given his life belt to someone else and had managed to get clear of the wreckage before the ship sunk. I found out later that he was one of the last to leave the ship. Osmond and I returned to England, and he has joined the army. He now has his commission in the 9th Oxford and Buckinghamshire Light Infantry, and is looking forward to going to France to do his bit.
Having survived this terrible event, Osmond was subsequently killed when, having brought his guns into position for assisting the attack on Henam-sur-Perjury, he saw that the men at one of the guns were in difficulty. Quitting his place of shelter, he was soon after shot through the heart by a sniper.
The Greater Love by Barbara Garnons-Williams. Fourth, though the din of battle sounds but faintly o'er English woods and lanes. Fourth, for it thunders loud and still more loudly on French and Belgian plains. Fourth, and though many hundreds fall beside them, though cannon thunder loud, yet they stand fast, unbroken, and undaunted, awe-stricken, yet uncowed. Fourth, for from blood-drenched earth, in purple trenches their comrades call them home. Fresh are the laurels, bright the crowns immortal, therefore, our brethren, come. Fourth, across yards hail swept by shrapnel, while great shells burst above, they meet the death their brothers found before them and know the greater love. Fourth, and though heads are bowed and eyes are weary, only one thing they see, that flag which sets their brains and pulses bounding, set their England free. Fourth, and they come from many lands and islands, yet all are one in death. And for one end and for one great tradition, they give their latest breath. Fourth, they are heroes and their lives are precious and some of great renown. Yet each one finds a larger life and fuller in laying this life down. O God of battles, grant them the rest from striving. Make all their warfare cease. Give that which passes all our understanding, thine own eternal peace.
the serious plight of the nation and its men. Not all was gloom and doom, and much of Godolphin life went on as normal. The diaries record talks, including by Hilaire Belloc, confirmation services, inter-house matches, sight reading competitions, entries to Oxford and Cambridge, and the general rules and regulations that ensured the smooth running of the school. They even managed a magnificent pageant held for Empire Day in 1916.
A pageant at Godolphin!
Look at Union Jacks on the windows!
So festive!
Throughout the war, intercessions were read for old girls and family members and friends of the students and staff.
On Wednesdays, we read the names of those in the Navy, the chaplains, the doctors, the nurses, and other helpers who belong to us. And on Friday, we read the names of those in the army, and very long lists they are.
And later,
the list of names grows so long that it has to be divided into 4 sets.
and then again later,
Our intercession list is now so long that we have to divide it into several lists, taking some names every Wednesday and Friday, and the honour roll also grows, and with it, the heroic courage of those who have the names of those near and dear to them on that list.
but no death is more touchingly recorded in the diaries than that of Cecil Rawlings, who'd been a student at the prep school.
I have some very upsetting news for you today. Cecil George Sandbrook Rawlings, Lance Corporal, 12th County of London, was killed in action on February 15th, 1915, aged 20. Cecil began his education in the Godolphin kindergarten, and I was much touched to hear that his last kindergarten report still hangs above his bed at home. In it, I remarked, "I hope I shall always hear good things of Cecil, who has been a good boy at school." His captain has written very good things of him to his parents, for he says, "He has always worked so calmly and efficiently, and at the same time, he was a great favourite with the whole platoon. Our deepest sympathy is with his parents."
Thank you.
Governor's meeting in December, Miss Douglas reflected on the turbulent times.
It is easy to stand in our hall and give thanks for the victory won and the sacrifice vindicated. Many of the present and past members of the school have a close and personal share in the sacrifice which had been paid during the long and terrible struggle for victory, and to them we express our deepest and most reverent sympathy.
We have heard that just before 12 o'clock, the Armistice has been signed.
Oh, yes, finally! Girls, I know it's a celebration, but best behaviour.
After 4.5 years of unparalleled warfare, the signing of the Armistice is a momentous and unparalleled event, and I earnestly desire that when the news arrives, all church bells shall be rung as soon as possible, and all flags displayed from windows, that there may be outward evidence of the glorious victory of the forces on the land, sea, and in the air of our kings and his allies, and the deep thankfulness that fills our hearts.
God save the King! God save the King! God save the King!
And so the war came to an end. But the world and Godolphin had changed. Miss Douglas, the steady hand that had guided Godolphin through the war years, resigned as headmistress in 1919 after many years of unstinting service to the school. In the first contested municipal election in Salisbury since the war, Godolphin Governor Lady Hulse became, in the long history of ancient Salisbury, the first woman councillor upon the town council. In December 1917, almost a year before the Armistice, the poet, novelist and historian Sir Henry Newbolt had spoken at Godolphin's speech day. He preferred, he said, not to dwell on the past or present, because it was not the most cheerful subject to think of, but to look to the future.
The future, not only of this country, but the world, I am certain, is in the hands of women, because of the change which is to come, and it is a change for the better.
They were a generation of different girls,
and yet not so different to those who came after them.
Today, too, Godolphin girls embrace all that life has to offer.
Shaped and nourished by the school and its values.
Today, too, in the face of different challenges, they still embody the school motto,
To be loyal and frank, and today too, they strive to contribute to the needs of the world.
So this was Godolphin's small war, amid our country's great war.
the generation that sacrificed their todays for our tomorrows.
And tonight Godolphin remembers.